be according to my understanding of what was being discussed in the Parliament. There will have to be a few amendments.
Yes.
Now, when the amendments are done, the opposition cannot claim or make any claim to having put forward these now changing positions.
It came straight from the government. It came straight from
the
members
of the government can now say it is our government member who realized these deficiencies in the bill, and we have listened to her.
Yes.
And as such, we have made the corrections and the adjustment to the bill.
Absolutely.
So the opposition walked right into a trap and they didn't realize.
Well, I tell you, I wonder if it's a deliberate trap set up by the government.
It could be. It could be, but even if it is not,
yes,
it is a damn good trap, neighbor, that they walked into.
I think so.
No. Politics is not a situation that requires emotion.
Yes.
In advanced democracies, more mature democracies, yes, there's a little emotion, but politics is by and large on the logical positioning of citizenry as it relates to issues affecting them, whether at the time or for a protracted period of time. But very little emotion is practiced in advanced democracies. And I continue to remind myself and those of us who listens to me that our democracy is still young, and it is going to take some time for people to understand that it should be on the issues in a logical way and not emotions. Now, I remember countless times as we have had this discussion, I try my best to point out that many of the people we see on social media who participate in the political discussion,
yes,
they are not politicians. They're not politically inclined. Many of them, they really approach it from an emotional standpoint. They love the party. They think they're participating in the discussion while contributing to the survival of their party politically. And sometimes I don't think they stop to consider that when there's too much emotions in this whole thing, then it doesn't go down well. It's not for good digest for those who listens. No, I have observed that many people who have been commenting on what Marlene did, they really don't understand the politics, but it is more so from an emotional standpoint that they have commented. And while I do not agree and I do not put up with that kind of approach, because at the end of the day, neighbor, the messaging around the politics, if you understand the politics, can steer you out of any situation.
That is absolute. Say that again. Say that again, sir.
The messaging can steer you out of any situation.
And PJ Patterson was master at that.
He was the master of all of that. He survived.
Yes.
He survived 14.5 years, and he helped the PMP to survive 18 3/4 years because of this. Masterful. Now, Marlene, having stood up in the Parliament, as she has a right to do, her constituents sent her to the Parliament as an independent member of Parliament.
Yes.
Having contributed to the discussion based on her understanding and her political and her professional knowledge.
Which pause there protecting. She's a former advisor to the government, being Attorney General, a resident magistrate, a former judge, a KC. So she does have a fine legal mind.
Yeah, right.
And her husband.
Yes, Mr. Ford, who I know very well.
Yes.
No. Those who comment should really have taken a step back, try to understand how this thing can be redirected or how this thing could be messaged in a particular way. Because at no point at all, and that is the reason why I tell you that we're dealing with some political neophytes on the space, and we have to take time with them as we try to advise them. At no point at all, your side. I know people who literally run onto a football field.
Yes.
And embed themselves into the game before the ref even realize, because they realize that the midfielder now play good and they want their side to win. We have to understand the politics to a level where when it is time for offense, we go on the offensive. And when it is time for the defense, we go on the defensive. In this matter, it is time now to take what Marlene did, package it, and redirect it to the audience, because guess what? Just as how many are confused in the party, there are many outside the party who are confused too.
Absolutely correct, sir.
And we will have to help them to understand
absolutely
what's
correct.
happening.
Absolutely
and if we
correct.
Lead the charge, if we lead the charge with the narrative, if we lead the narrative, then we can form the foundation of the understanding that they would have taken from it starting this morning.
May I ask you a question, sir? Wouldn't it be good if last night the bloggers could have had a meeting, discuss this with senior people to say, here's the strategy, before everybody is just allowed to come out and start bashing the lady and not craft a political strategy behind this? Because even if she was wrong, it can be packaged to make the party look good, sir.
Neighbor, we don't even need to do much of a packaging. This is showing democracy operating at its highest.
Wow.
You see, when I don't expect my wife to agree with me all the time.
No,
I have some friends as a neighbor.
Yes.
If I read, them I tell me.
Yes. And those are your real friends.
Okay. And I'm my best friend, them, man, two of them. And when them I tell me, it is sometimes in no uncertain term, because they go and make sure me get it, me I read. At the end of conversations like those, which are tough conversations, I learn to appreciate my friendships even better.
Yes.
No. There is nowhere. Okay, what if it was Warmington? Everybody love Warmington. Who do you say, oh, Warmington that, Warmi that? Because that's how Warmi has done over the past 10 years. Warmi has created the balance in the governance structure from within the party. Warmi has from time to time raised concerns and issues that I am sure has given the party even more credibility than it usually has.
Yes. What
is so different with this lady who has professional knowledge of laws?
Yes.
What is so different with her now in her contribution to this new bill is saying to the government, the bill needs some reworking. A matter of fact, the Prime Minister from the outset says he doesn't expect the bill is perfect.
My goodness, man.
It is through the debate that he expects that with whatever all agree on, then there will be some amendments.
Yes.
So what is this issue? The Prime Minister said this in the opening of the debate on the bill.
Yes.
He said it.
So the opposition's applause is a strategic misread of this moment, protecting.
The emotion that I spoke of earlier, neighbor, that is not unnecessary in the politics.
But why a political party of their history and stature would not have read this? Because I saw it this morning. I mean, I just sat down for 5 minutes and said, let me think about this a little. And I then start to say, but guess what? This is a fork. Miss Marlene Malahoo may have handed the government a fourth term, because if NARA,
the PMP is a dunce group of people. You know, you run out of time because you have to go meet your country people. Them. But the PMP
no, man, we have about 40 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, go ahead.
The PMP currently, the current construct of the PMP are political numbskulls. And they are led by another political numbskull. Well, he's a numbskull overall. No. They thought, because I'm reading them, because I watched the proceedings and I was reading into, what they were doing. And yes, number one, it was an attempt by them to delay the process. Even so much so that when the speaker inquired as to all the other names that are on the thing, them just sit down, they don't want to speak. Them say next week because they want to dry it out. Okay? No. Separate and apart from that, their arguments are not in support of the bill. It doesn't matter what kind of loophole and what kind of issues they wanted to identify. And if the issues were legitimate, it doesn't matter. Their arguments collectively are not in support of a NARA. And we know why, neighbor.
Yes.
Because one entity, which is a non-governmental entity, no politician will have control over almost $3 trillion that will be spent.
Absolutely.
So we know the PMP and that already.
Yes.
But while they were making those arguments, they thought that while they appeal to their base, it would make much sense for them down the road if something go wrong. Now, having seen Mrs. Malahoo Forte stood up, and I saw that they were very attentive.
Yes.
Because I realized that they really wanted to see where she was going. And her having fed them the red piece of beef, it was pure emotion that gave her that standing ovation, and they clapped right into a trap. They clapped into a trap.
But before you tell us about the trap, is it possible that the government could mishandle this? Could they mishandle it?
I don't think so, neighbor, because even with the bill currently as it is, not considering
but the supporters are mishandling it based on what I'm hearing online. Well, I hope it will stop.
I believe, again, neighbor, you know my position again on the politics. Because you see, this is a bill. This is a bill to introduce a policy for the spending of almost $3 trillion, right?
Yes.
Policy cannot, there's no policy that exists without the politics, You know my position on that, neighbor. Now, yes, the Prime Minister had a meeting with G2K today.
Mm-hmm.
The new semblance of the body. I don't know exactly what was discussed, but guess what? This is where G2K and Young Jamaica now can shine like stars. The political messaging covering the government, but also covering Mrs. Malahoo Forte as she stood up to cover the government, because I believe that this was purely...
Yes, that is what you think she did.
Yes. She was taking, a matter of fact, the political hits that she's getting from within by the bloggers. I think she calculated it and knew that this would probably come. No, this is how you cover, this is how you provide political cover. This is how you take some licking at your back, some scars for the team.
Yes, right.
This is how the defender slide into a tackle and might end up get a red card, or he might get a yellow.
To save the team.
Save a goal.
Team can't lose. That is so good. That is so good, yeah.
And she has played this, as I said, whether it was deliberately or otherwise done. This is the perfect opportunity for the party.
Yeah.
To now take up the political side of it and message around it.
Yes.
To take this thing out of the PMP's arguments.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Now, it is so perfect that
absolutely.
Tomorrow morning, the politics should be having a statement out there tomorrow morning to say that we thank member Malahoo Forte for her timely intervention and
yes,
and we are taking her concerns into consideration.
Are
her concerns not the opposition concerns. Of course, there are some of them raised some of the concerns that she has. But guess what? Because she provided this off-ramp, a fair concern we are dealing with. So the PNP will have no part in this when the corrections are made.
No part in it, sir.
Even though Isaac Buchanan was very sober with his presentation. Not even him I go get any mileage out of this because we now have Marlene for point point. So because of her intervention, we have made some changes to the bill and the bill is now better. Now, when a time for pass the bill, the PMP can't protest no more because guess what? They gave her a standing ovation and a fair opinions were used to fix the bill. Therefore, once they agreed with her and a fair position were used, the bill good. Simple. Politics that. 101.
Yeah, you're fantastic. So then protecting. How then you think you see the government embracing Marlene? Marlene is coming under some attack. You would advise the attackers to ease off and to look at the politics in the way that you have placed it before us tonight. I see my listeners saying that you should go on other platforms and make this presentation. You prepared to do it?
I mean, once I'm available in a neighbor, I'm always available.
Neighbor, could you please add HR Guru, please?
Yeah.
Once I'm available,
yes,
I always make myself. I'm always ready to share another platform because, as I said to you, the other people are people who I started out commenting on issues publicly on their platforms.
Yes.
Today I wanted to jump on because I knew that this would happen. Today I wanted to jump on to Black Kings Live, but I was busy. Was very busy.
Okay, let me ask you this. George Davis this morning said that in essence that if the party mishandles NARA, I don't know. I'm getting a message. Okay. If the party mishandles NARA, it could be an opening for the opposition People's National Party. Do you agree with that?
Yes, neighbor, but remember I said this last night,
Yes, you did.
Remember I said it last night that it is now going to be a kind of situation where the government has to be careful. It has to be careful. Now, there's one good thing coming out of this whole thing, and the one good thing is that no politician now go spend the money. So if you notice the opposition's arguments aren't about the politician spending the money. The opposition argument is about who is this and who this one is reporting to and who is going to make this final decision and who is going to form, because it cannot be that they are going to make any sensible statement opposite to that.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we are already assured that no politician now will spend the money. Now that in itself, the credibility of the government, neighbor, I think it is unshaken, even though we know of this situation that we need to message around, because the credibility of the government is being shored up by the very fact that the government even considered to use an independent body to spend this money. So the credibility of the government, the credibility of the leader of the government is still intact. It is how we move forward. The government need to understand that we are going to have to provide the political cover. How much weeks now, how much months now, neighbor, you hear me talk about political cover?
Boy, I tell you.
Yeah. We're going to need to provide the political cover. So right now, we really should not be feeding into any argument coming from the PMP. We shouldn't be feeding into anything. We should be providing the cover, sensible political cover. If Mrs. Malahoo Forte's intervention is of any good neighbor, I will say to you, it is the only move and the only intervention that has secured the fourth term.
It is. I and you are on one page. I say Forte. Forte
yes,
has opened the door for a fourth term. Brilliant.
Forte for the fourth.
Brilliant.
Forte for the fourth.
Yeah.
And